Hey boys, we are back right at the start of a new day. Shield Wizard troll again, in stream. Second time used, both times by Shield Wizard. Right at the end of the day and just before router restarted. We're here with Karaz-a-Karak part 20, and we are almost at the end. Don't you guys dare end the stream here. We need to finish this campaign today. I saved the campaign on the... I saved the campaign on the Karak settlement. Fangs Reborn has claimed Ben Mount. Oh, you got 1 month. I'll update it after the stream. I think everything is good here. Okay. Look at this balance of power. It's favoring the Iron Rakes a little bit too much.
For Karaz-a-Karak!
Got your coffee? I actually got a chamomile tea. Had enough caffeine today.
A wise plan! What orders? Using guild roots. For clan honor, a wise plan. By the king's command.
I don't think we actually need to move this anymore.
The Layer's will binds me to you.
Okay, all of this actually.
Good. Grimnir's axe thirsts.
Where were we? Turn 207. We have a 347 settlements, so we need 6 more settlements.
The axe thirsts for war. The dwarfs need me.
There's still 2 quest bells as well. So where is Torgrim? Torgrim is down here.
Onward.
Send towards New Vegas. This guy actually has the gyros for the quest.
An art. Master of
Choose this here. Let's make it one-sided here.
No, this would shame my ancestors. The throng is mustered. Forwards!
You summoned me.
Just keep it on. Konos is garrisoning Ult 1. Nibro is about to do the attack. Straklan is garrisoning here. Only Karak-a have 6 elements that we can see. All in mood. Roman is getting the remaining units. This one is garrisoning with Straklan in Southlands. Regarding heroes, we don't really need to move heroes anymore. And yeah, those two.
Iron-willed. Someday.
We fought the Ungrim this campaign, we didn't. Let's go. We fought his armies, but we haven't fought Ungrim himself. He still has a couple more settlements. This is coming on the east side. This is actually a very good side here to create a firewall, literally. This is an imbalanced anti-infantry army. Very good auto-resolve value though. Having extra iron drakes helps with auto-resolve. The enemy has a lot of slayers, and they are stronger slayers.
We demand blood for the ancestor gods.
I'm gonna have to go in here now.
Iron breakers! The clans unite! For the High King!
Slayers are unbreakable, so they'll initially make contact with the Iron Drakes.
Ready! Iron breakers! Killers! Iron drakes! For the High King! We demand blood! Iron drakes! Iron breakers! Let the vengeance begin! For the ancestors! Bring death on him! They have wronged us! Slayers! Yes! To the forge! Iron drakes! The clans unite! Iron breakers! Iron drakes! War of vengeance! Iron breakers! Slayers! They have wronged us! Don't scare me!
You just need to send a second army here.
Not
We also have characters here.
They get close! Not up! That'll do! The clans unite! Iron breakers! They have wronged us! Strike out!
They don't seem to have any artillery.
For the High King! For the ancestor gods! Yes! Yes! It is an order! No faffing about!
They made strength through here. I guess it's a little bit too wide. I haven't tried it with the iron bricks this wide before. We'll be fine once they move back a little bit. We know who is here. We can use high resistance on our stuff. The slayers are really deadly. Really deadly. Let's Ungrim, his army is no joke with the damage. The slayers are like 90% chance to hit. Well, we gave Ungrim a taste of the fire army.
Slayers! For the ancestors! Rage fast! Kill urged! Ready to strike!
It was a pretty one-sided battle, but it didn't feel right to auto-resolve. A bunch of the resolves that we did yesterday was just repaired battles we already done a few times this campaign. Hey, Homerun.
To battle!
Defeat Ungrim Iron Fist, Slayer, King Slayer.
My anger.
Well, he did treachery against us while we were
Armed and ready.
friends. He did it first.
Vengeful Rune Lord. I'm going.
It's a little bit clicking left. Once we finish, we'll check all the stats. We will check also all the landmarks in the World for Dwarves. I'll make a highlight of that if you guys are not here. You can watch in a separate video. And play the victory music and be done with the campaign. The next campaign will be in second half of May. Most likely greenskins. But there'll be more Total War this month with Total War Remastered. War Rome Remastered. And those heroes have been really harassing here. We had to go through about 139 provinces. Showcase the landmark, so it might be a while. So what's left in the world? Gormadi Mountains, Janho Mountains, and 2 quest battles. Their forces are diminished to the point where they will not be able to resist. Apparently there are some rogue armies. We'll not be looking for them. If they don't show here, nobody's there. They might be as well bugged. We had a bug where there was a pirate rogue army, but we couldn't find it anywhere on the map. As when I think we had all the seas visual. Well, it's actually a pretty good army. So they actually had one more army there that we couldn't see. You need replenishment and army to fight on a pedal like that. Auto-resolve in Prague cost a lot of damage. Karaz-a-Karak in 5 settlements.
Aye, lad, what can I do? Time for a reckoning.
Third times are so quick now. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you control all the world.
Got then. Master engineer at your service.
So it looks like Karaz-a-Karak has been fighting the Empire from these mountains in the Kislev area.
For the wisdom of the layer, attack! Summon me if you dare! Ha ha!
arcane winds under control.
The throng is mustered.
So it is possible that they are in our territories and we don't see them. Holy shit, that's a really flawed system. There are somewhere in our territory 2 bugged armies. 3 now. And they keep respawning the same factions we have killed. They're just broken. Unless we make a tiny move in the region where they are, we will not see them. And since they're just bugged in a spot, they will not make a move.
Onward.
Broken.
Lord of Clan Morgrim,
The dwarfs need me.
Master of Runecraft. Rune Ricky. Got? I'll get on it.
How can I help? Scrunge. One rug. Drang them. Ready axes. You know who I am.
On my way.
I am the White Dwarf. Organs.
Rune Lord.
Grumbrindle. I'm leaving.
For the king! I'm off. Armed and ready. I do.
You do?
Vengeful Rune.
Hey there, boys. How's it hanging? Hope.
Lord of Clan Morgrim.
Hope.
I'll get on it.
I hope. It's as good as done. If you say so, be it.
Hope.
Yes? What do you want? Grenir is with us! Thumni! What?
It is time. Send me to vengeance. Thronebearers, move! The axe thirsts for war.
From one mountain, son, he said.
Let us begin.
This is for the rune axe of Grombrindal. Wait to fight chaos. We'll do the quest battles.
Master of Runecraft.
I answer to clan and hold. Master of Runecraft. If you say so, Beardling.
Candle maker. It smells bugged. This might be the first candle maker I've seen in I don't know how long. This smells like a bugged follower. Can you even put it on a Thane?
I answer to clan and hold.
You can. Line of sight.
Vengeful Rune Lord. I'll cast the runes. Aye.
more.
Lady with a beard.
Aye, I suppose so. I'm going.
Does anyone know what happens if in battle says you will draw when the time runs out? The battle will end up in a draw, and the forces will go on their separate sides. It's like whoever is attacked, I think it's gonna retreat or just stay there if there's no zone of control. It's a draw. There could be some special rules around if there's a movement limited. At this stage, the construction clicks never end. You literally click for hours at the end of the long campaign like this. Gonna be interesting to see how much gold we spend on all this construction. You're defending and time runs out, you get a victory. No, it can be the other way around as well. It can be a draw. Even if you win, the doesn't mean even if doesn't mean you're gonna win. It just it's a draw is a thing there. We've been consistently building this whole campaign. Literally spent millions on construction. Millions. And we had a really strong military the whole time. But we had no elves, the high elves, dark elves, to go crazy with this. Dwarves have quite a balanced economy compared to those two. The supply lines eventually you had a limit with military. You have to balance it with construction.
The dwarfs need me.
Oh, we encountered the rogue army. This guy's actually woke up. They respawned on the same spot where we destroyed the other army.
The king's command. Ready. Forwards! To war! Forwards! Anad, as the High King commands. One back! Who calls me? For the wisdom of Valea. Move!
Maybe they have a spot spawn there.
My anger burns bright.
What the hell?
Casting the runes.
For a great and awesome campaign. Thanks, man.
Thank you too. God damn.
By the fort,
Thank you very much. Ungrim is already here. He must have defeated Vlad. Oh, no, he has actual reductions.
Done
Driven.
Campaign complete. Long campaign victory. High King speech. We're not done yet.
Fellow Dowie! A great wrong has befallen our kin by things. The Damaskron is filled with their vile atrocities. And the debt stands with them. So, my kin, take up your axes. Show these Urks and Groby the might of Karaz-a-Karak. For they come.
Can I help you?
Ready, axes! Karaz-a-Karak! Ah! Pay back every grudge! This is my edict as High King! We will repulse these vile creatures with our dying breath and renew the Karaz-a-Karak.
Karaz-a-Karak has been renewed.
Of Runecraft, setting off. For Runelord. I'm leaving. Lord. It's as good as done. Setting off.
Okay, we have the whole world. 350 settlements. But there is one more faction there that at least has to be cleared.
Time for a reckoning, for the wisdom of the lair.
They have no fear.
What? Yes.
Oh no, the OCD is taking over. No, this is not OCD. This is like a completionist thing. We finished the 2 quest battles and finished the other guys. How is this OCD? It'll be unfinished. There is here last faction.
Armed and ready. If you say so, beardling. Setting off.
Iron weld, casting the runes. What do you want? What needs to be done?
I don't think they're in the other ones are in the full war. Yeah, well, we know only about one, and that's gonna be good enough. The rest of them are bugged somewhere, and we don't see them, if they even exist. They don't exist unless they're on this list. We have the whole world. That's good enough for me.
Lord of Clan Morton. runecraft. Casting the runes. Vengeful rune lord. Fearless and unbreakable.
It's done almost. Almost.
You have my axe. To war. It is time.
Have 2 quest bells.
One rug.
These guys at least were not broken. Like the others.
Good. Grimnir's axe thirsts. The High King moves. Onward. The throng agrees. Ha ha! Aye! Ha ha! Moving! Beards in belts. Yes.
Karaz-a-Karak.
Time for a reckoning. Summon me if you dare.
Wouldn't be a world domination. We didn't complete the quest bells. At least for the speeches.
My axe thirsts for war. Bring them! Shoulder axes, lads. We move.
Okay.
Retake the realm.
We have this one here. Axe of Grimnir. Gotta listen to one more speech with Torgrim. There are 353 settlements.
Behold, the stone fruits of the Engineers Guild's labor. New flying gyro machines will take to the air. Let me assure my traditionalist brethren within the guild that Morgrim himself would be pleased with this innovation. Now, let us test them against the eternal enemy, the ones who have more entries in the great book of grudges than any other, the orcs. See how the green-skinned filth flock round that vile pillar. Let us wipe them out. So confident am I in these new machines that I forsake my axe and will not take it up again until victory is secured here. I do this in the knowledge that those orcs will soon be corpses scattering the battlefield. Let us be about this. Ancestors! Pay back every grudge! Ranging target! Cannon! Kill axe! Organ we demand blood! Our fire undid! No shoddy contraptions here! For the ancestor gods, the runes glow! Slayers! There is no greater ability. It is an order. Slayers! Range far, range fast! Gyrocopter!
the Karaz-a-Karak!
Ik heb doemdivers hier.
Slayers! Yes! Obey me! The looms are cast! Locked and loaded! Bring everything! Slayers! Down! Let the vengeance begin!
War of vengeance!
Aye! It is a reckoning!
Rage far, rage fast!
Gyrocopter!
Kill orcs!
It is an order!
Attack the orcs!
Go! Move now! The clans unite!
Understood, Lord.
Strike out! Cannon!
We'll guard it!
Gyrocopter! For the hand! Aye! Yes! Kill orcs! Thunderers! Vengeance! Order! Father's blessing on us!
Aye, at his command! We stand put!
Warriors! Gyrocopter! Charge! Get your beards out of the way, Darwin! We must battle!
On! On!
Anu!
Yes!
Anu!
Aye, as you command!
Vengeance! Attack! Let me up!
Ja, Mumford is the same battlefield here.
For Grimnir! Move to attack! Yes! Vengeance! Charge! For vengeance! Will do! Gyrocopter! Organguna! Famadir! Gyrocopter!
Looks like the objective is bugged. Just the main army shattered.
Take to the air! Range far! Range fast! Nothing can stop us! Attack! Go! Thunderous! Range far! The clans unite! Slayers! On! Gyrocopter! Show us the target! Gyrocopter! Forward! Gyrocopter! go through! Stop! Aye! Gyrocopter! Wait, your man! Blood! Gyrocopter!
That side with the Black Orcs used to come much later. They would all have buggy timings because of the drastic change in everything, so they just released all reinforcement once. Certain point. These items are missing a whole tier. Whole tier.
How can I help? Aye, I'll see it done. One back.
Gromlins against Chaos. Now we're just finishing the quest battles to hit the speeches. Unless they do something about the requirements, we're never gonna do them again.
Right, my northern kin, let's get about this. These chaos-loving Ungi are in need of a reckoning, all right. I have an oath to fulfill, so don't mind me if I'm greedy. I promised Grimnir there'd be a mighty tally, and I ain't one for breaking such an oath. So come on, let's have 'em!
Nice and short, huh? It feels like it skipped one part there. We'll prepare for everything here. I don't remember this bell. From the bells kinda sucks, the requirements are ridiculous.
Kazook! Kazook! We demand blood! Axis out, lads! Aye! Vengeance! For mountain and home! Gyrocopter! By Malaya's will! Gyrocopter!
You have to defend now. Guys, have any idea who this is? You guys have any fucking idea who this is?
Gyrocopter! On the way!
Okay, I don't know. It's over on the left cavalry unit. That's the only thing they can defend here.
Gyrocopter! Fight! Charge! Move to attack!
We have there some great weapons, huh?
Karaz-a-Karak, ha! Vengeance! No! Rage fast!
3 brimstone guns would have been so much such pain in the ass for them.
No!
Would have all routed one of the units.
Attack! The white claw!
Yes, Wars, this is my organ gun.
Cannon! Kazook!
Face that side.
We are relentless! Nothing can stop
us! Plow through! We'll range far, range fast!
One mounted horseman on.
Move
Mounted
now!
skirmish, I mean.
Iron breakers!
It is a reckoning!
Iron breakers! Aye, Archie command! Understood, Lord!
Range far, range fast!
Aye! Nothing can stop us! To war! Wave cannon!
Slayers! Ironry! On!
Right!
Chosen moving around.
Understood, Lord!
Shield bearers hold! Nothing can stop us! Shields! I shall! Yes, Thane! Stop! Slayers! Obey me! Wave cannon! Battle! Ready to serve! Anon! Axes out! Ready to start!
Find your targets!
Into the air! Kill them! Battle!
Go back to Warhammer 1, you trash piece of garbage lord with no skills.
For the Karaz-a-Karak! Attack the earth!
Chaos Lord, am I right? You guys seen Chaos Lords and Gladius? Gods of the battlefield.
Heading out!
Is the Rune Axe of Grombendal. This thing needs like a whole next tier of upgrades compared to Forge. So if you do ever do this bell, do yourself a favor and just, you know, I guess don't care about this. Okay.
I am the White Dwarf.
Use a better weapon, right? In this case, the Gatekeeper's Hammer. Slow is just too good.
The dwarfs need me.
But doesn't really matter at this point. So, there is no diplomacy button, boys. Everything is blue. Before we call it, let's go over the landmarks. Don't mind the minimap, it's been bugged since the Malus was released. So, we'll go through all the provinces and showcase the dwarf landmarks, say a couple of words. Will be highlighted later. Let's start with the capital, the Silver Road. So in Karaz-a-Karak, there are two landmarks. You get a gyrocopter base, Karaz-a-Karak airfield, campaign movement range plus 5% all armies, 10% cheaper upkeep for the old gyro units, 10% cheaper local recruitment of gyros. Will be faction wide, who knows, doesn't specify, but usually it's just local. The gyros will be faster and they'll start at a much higher rank when they recruit here. The city itself is special because it's a faction capital. Well, it's a pretty decent one because you get a little bit of command moon range even if you're not using gyro units. Gyro units are completely optional. Get a throne hall over the High King, The tier 5 one takes forever to get in a campaign. Usually all the closing in the campaign are the current stage of the game because of the growth before you get this. But massive public order locally, faction-wide, more lord recruit ranks for new lords, not always nice. Economic-wise, it gives a lot of money. Usually when you build this, you have enough money to get another army. And +1 recruit ranks for the hammers. If you are a stage of the game where you get this and you keep playing, you'll definitely notice the difference. But it comes a little bit too late to be relevant when you actually need stuff. But the stats on it are pretty good. After the Silver Road, there is an Eastern Oblast. There is nothing here. We have Southern Oblast. Dwarves don't have anything here, not even the Boca Palace. I think it's only available to the Empire and Vampires. Just a moment. Just need. Okay, nothing here in the Southern Oblast. Eastern Sylvania, there is no landmarks for dwarves. Janhu Mountains, the home of the Karaz-a-Karak, it has a landmark. Just double check for the other settlement. It's called the Silver Hole. Unlocks the recruitment of Taints, gives a nice 10 public order, replenishment rate, more capacity for Taints, more recruitment of Taints, untainted, bigger local recruitment capacity, and provides garrison of Tain. You could prioritize going here early, but it doesn't really matter. It's only really connected to the Gromdal, unless they create a way for you to start here, as Gromdal started one of my factions. Importance almost none. The Hell Pit has no landmark. Forest of Gloom, no landmark. Marsh of Madness, there is no landmarks here. Western Sylvania, pretty sure there's nothing here. Yeah, we'll just take a quick look. Now we have everything, so we can check out. Numa, Skadar, Springs of Eternal Life, nothing here. Nothing in the Ash River. Northern Oblast, Fort Ostrovsk, Fort Stragov have nothing. Eastern Border Princess, no landmarks. Ostermark, take a quick look. No landmarks. Blood River Valley, Big Dwarf Province, no landmarks. Griffin Wood, quick look, no landmarks. I'll take a quick look just in case we make something. Nothing in the mood. Some factions have landmarks in the mood. Troll Country, there is no landmarks. This one is not even marked as a landmarks, but it's kind of like a landmark in Aragon Port. It's massive income. Massive, and boss trade as well. So you produce more. So I guess kind of like the Erengrad is a special port, it's kind of like a landmark. Western Badlands, we don't even have to check here. This place has been begging for a resource or a landmark since the start of the, Warhammer 1. There is nothing here. In my opinion, there should be something here, at least one resource. Southern Badlands. Just double check, there's a Ellen Port, nothing there. Galbaraz has a old gold mine. It's a little bit out of the way for most war factions, but you do get it eventually. And since a tier 3, it's pretty good. Not only you get money, you get old gold, you get the public order, capacity for runesmiths, ranks for runesmiths, some even upkeep for the units that are not very used, and most importantly, a garrison on the top of everything. So this is quite a nice one when you get here. But this is another province you prioritize. There's a lot of other stuff in the way. Sometimes our Not sure if still quick does take this place, so you're gonna get it eventually. Ostland, take a quick look. No landmarks. Mountains of Hell in Norska. No landmarks. Just in case, you know, check once and never again until they add new stuff. No landmarks in Overland. Great Mortis Delta, the black Pyramid of Nagash settlement. It has a Vault of Nagash, which gives Winds of Magic Power Reserve plus 30 to all armies, which is completely useless to the dwarves. Honestly, they should do something about this stat on the landmarks regarding dwarves, and they should give them something else. Maybe income, maybe, you know, whatever. Lord Recruiting plus 3, Hero Recruiting plus 3, always nice to have. It's a tier 3, takes a long time to build up, so it's accessible if you ever go here. And magic resistance plus 10% to all armies, which is kind of crazy, because the dwarves have 25 magic resists, which puts them to 35. And Rune Lord, your standard lord, has Logos of Power when he gets a mount for another 15%, which means your whole army has 50% magic resistance, which is obscene amount. Obscene. This makes some battles pretty one-sided, especially if you're dealing with a Black Ark, with the whole army magic attacks. Obscene amount. Half the damage down to resistance. So this is a pretty good landmark. If you have wizards, it's a really good one. It's nice one to have, but unless you're you know, expanding this way, stuff like this is not even worth prioritizing. Dwarves are all very resilient even without this. But if you're going into the desert, you're going to take this one, you're gonna build it, and it's gonna be nice to have a little bit perversions regarding magic resistance. You will really feel that dwarf magic resistance superiority, especially with the Rune Lord. Stillland, there is nothing here. Talak Backland, no landmarks. They did sometimes update the game and they add landmarks, but they haven't in a bit. They haven't polished some of the issues from the previous ones. Oakland, there is no landmarks. Land of the Dead, no landmarks. Land of the Dervishes, no landmarks. The Black Mountains, one of the dwarf provinces, no landmarks. Solent, no landmarks. Trollheim Mountains in Norska, no landmarks. This is just a fort. The Great Desert of Araby, nothing. I think the Black Tower of Arkan should be available to more factions, really. You know, make it cool that you go there for something. We'll get to a really good one, really far away from dwarves, but let's get in order. Westenborg Princess, no landmarks. Midland, double check, there's nothing. The Vaults, home of Clan Angrund. Karak-Iser has Copper Mountain, which is really relevant for the early game Clan Angrund. For later and other factions, you get the nice garrison and some income. Global price +1. Pretty damn good for a tier 2 landmark. Honestly, landmarks like this are the best. These are the best landmarks in the game, in my opinion. There's nothing in those two, right? Yeah, just double check. Nordland, there is no landmarks here. Whistland, no landmarks. Southern Grey Mountains, a dwarf province, no landmarks. Vidriot in the forest, nothing. Reichland, no landmarks. Lone Forest, nothing. Arkvillon, nothing here. The Oak of Ages, there's no landmark, but the building itself is kind of special. Gives you 100 timber, 5 growth to all provinces. Your forces will be immune to Atelor and Awakened Forest attrition, and the adjacent provinces, these three, get double income, which means they only suffer minus 50% penalty from the bad climate. Talsin, nothing there. The Misty Hills, the Black Pit has nothing, Record Point has nothing. There's a mountain without a resource or anything in there. Mount Snaglfari in Norska, no landmarks. Icetooth Mountains in Norska, there is nothing here. Torgoman in Ateloren, no landmarks. Hellspire Mountains in Norska, nothing. Thalia, Southern Realms, no landmarks. Satosa, Satosa does have generic ones. There is the Peck Street Pawn Shop, grants resources. In my opinion, should be double this amount of resources to be relevant. Why would you want to build this on tier 2? Usually on a faction that can really get in trade. Good access for the Tomb Kings, I guess. I think they can get it. The Smithy Tavern on a tier 4. Hero recruit rank +3 is nice. Public order, income. Honestly, not sure why this one is tier 4. Probably better on a tier 3, but you know, having another one here, why not? It's a 10-slot city, may have to build something. Nothing really worth focusing, not worth prioritizing, but if you get there, here, you'll get it eventually. The southern desert of Arabi, no landmarks. Exbyte Pass, no landmarks. We have Paramon, no landmarks. Coast of Arabi has a unique port, special port, which is worse. I repeat, worse than a regular dwarf port. This is a regular 210, 420. Same on the minor one, minor settlement. 200, 400, 1020. In Kofr, you get a special one, which is worse than your own port. Atal Mountains, a dwarf province, no landmarks, but rich in resources. We get Carcassonne, nothing. This is Scamblight, nothing here. I would like to see dwarves having a landmark in Scamblight. Massive Oracle, this place is begging for something. Please, please put a resource here or a landmark, for God's sake. It's a 10-slot city. There's nothing here. Northern Grey Mountains, Dwarf Province. There's nothing here, but very rich in resources. The Wasteland, the Maringo Province, no landmarks, but the Maringo Port might as well be a landmark. It's very rich. Vanheim Mountains, nothing. There's Norska settlement. There's a fort. We are in the Land of the Assassins, nothing. Honestly, in my opinion, the Wiz Khalifa Palace should be a special city. There should be something really special about this city. Heck, even a unique garrison, a landmark. This place should be a special city. The followers of Nagash are a doo-doo faction. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Poop. Baston. There is nothing here. Stalia, nothing here, but there are resources. Coron, nothing here. Forest of Arden, nothing. Borderloo has a landmark for wine. Massive amount of wine, public order and growth. Pretty nice. There's also a special port, which is almost like a landmark. Borderloo is a trade city. You get this with any faction that strays, that's part of the order. You are gonna be making bank. You gonna be making bank. If you're part of the Order Tide, not just Order, but Order Tide, you know, dwarves, realms of men, high elves, you're gonna be making bank here with this. Ahol Wastelands in Norska, nothing. This is Norska and Nagarot. I guess it's Nagarot. Lioness in Bretonia, no landmarks. Albion, looks like this is a generic one. The stones. Varying upgrades. Again, we have Winds of Magic Power Reserve. So you get Public Order, you get Corruption, in this case Untainted, get Income and a Garrison. Giant Slayer is pretty nice for a Garrison. You're already on Tier 1. On a Tier 1, you're gonna get this building. Tier 3, you're gonna upgrade this building. So the increases in Public Order, Untainted, Winds of Magic Power Reserve, Income. The Garrison does stay the same. It is one of the new ones and a pretty decent one. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how I want to see landmarks in the future. Multiple tiers, and it actually, you know, feels good to have it. This is how you do it, CA. This is how you do landmarks. Except with Magic Power Reserve plus 20 for dwarves does shit. If you don't want to put, you know, what am I gonna do with it? Isle of Wight, Silhouette, nothing there. Kotik, no landmarks. Galleon's Graveyard, no landmarks. The city itself is special. It grants you immunity to Reef Attrition, to Maelstrom Attrition. Maelstrom is the most dangerous part of the sea. It's that big whirlpool that just swallows and destroys everything. It's a good thing you get immune to Maelstrom, but next time you guys patch the game, please add immune to Deep Sea Attrition as well. Because, you know, I'm dying to just stranding by the sea while I can just park in the Maelstrom and take no attrition. We have Everest here. There are no landmarks here. Safari has the Sect Library of Horde. Winds of Magic Power Reserve again, third one now. Research, cheaper construction. This is nice. This is nice, especially for factions that don't have endless money. You know, you're gonna have to balance out the ridiculous military with construction costs if you want to build everything. Lowering cost of construction is nice, but it comes kind of late and it's totally out of the way. So a level of importance 0. You can, you know, forget it even exists. Deadwood has no landmarks. Broken Lands, no landmarks. It's Nagaroth. Krace on Ulton, no landmarks. Volcanic Islands, no landmarks. Vampire Coast, nothing. Avalon, there is no landmarks. Eataine, the capital of the High Elves. The port is special, painted as a landmark. This port is poop compared to Marienburg and Ergrad, but still it's purple, while the other ones are not purple. There's a looted Lothern Palace. We will continue to empty the Elven Palace until every slide in the Damask Crown has been repaired in full. Pretty nice from Tier 2. Really good bonuses. If you decide to fight the Elves, you get a nice landmark here. You're probably not gonna need something like this, but if you go for it, it's nice that this thing exists. You know, it makes sense, and it's you know, they made a good one here. The problem is with the ult one, the climate is red, and yeah, it's full of elves. The red climate for dwarves is really bad. Until you get a certain landmark, which we'll get to. This Shrine of Masurian has Flame Masurian, Public Order +5, Owning Faction Favorite Corruption +2, all regions, low recruiter rank level +1 faction wide. The Owning Faction Favorite Corruption +2 is massive. This is massive. So every region you control, in this case there are 4 regions in the Eataine, which means 8 untainted. You're literally just corruption, what corruption? This is a really powerful one for Public Order and a smooth campaign, click, 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 click. And honestly better than this one here by a mile. This thing here is amazing, but you know, it's on Ulton, it's Eataine if you don't find the elf. Several factions does have it. I think nearly everybody has access to this. This is a really good landmark. Nothing in Order 2. Phoenix Gate, Nagarite. Nagarite has the this is the Shrine of Cain. You got the Shrine of Widowmaker, Shrine of Widowmaker, get untainted locally, Ingham for best battle faction wide. The Ingham for best battle loot doesn't matter for dwarves unless you're fighting a really high quality army, so otherwise you don't get much money. But getting a recruit rank +1 for all units, all provinces is nice. And I wish this place had some garrison here. Honestly, nothing special. But if you're gonna go for the Ulton, you're gonna get it right. There is a Headhunter jungle, no landmarks. Kislev check, Unicorn Gate, no Great Jungle, nothing here. Ellyrian, no landmarks. Kalidor, no landmarks. Griffin Gate, no landmarks, no. Road of Skulls, Nagorod, no landmarks. Cloak Coast, Nagorod, no landmarks. Tiranoc on Ulton, nothing. The Chill Road in Nagorod, it does have the Rensek Tower of Prophecy. Very similar to the Sect Library of Hoet, except, you know, again, Winds of Magic Power Reserve. What am I gonna do with it? Research rate, and you get income from all buildings, all regions, plus 3% and plus 6%. It's a lot. I've taken this place a while ago, and I still don't even have it close. It's a nice bonus to have, but the growth in this place will take forever. So what do we have else? Asha Arena is nothing. One moment. What else is there? The Sacred Pools, that's the forest in Lastria, there's nothing here. The Creeping Jungle in Lastria, nothing. Storm Great Jungle, oh, this is a good one. For Dwarves, this is a good one. The Emerald Pools, I think most factions have access to this. I think they forgot to put in some factions, but I feel like most factions are supposed to have this. You get 100 medicinal plants, 10 growth to all provinces. So, and you get occasional penetration rate plus 5% all armies. This is what dwarves need. Dwarves are weakest when it comes to growth and replenishment. These are their weaknesses: growth and replenishment. The 5% replenishment will make the yellow climate no problem, while the red climate bearable. Without it, I think the red climate is unbearable. Not just there is like almost no replenishment, but it takes twice as long to build anything. And the Emerald Pools makes it easier. This is a nice one. Dwarves need stuff like this. Other regions here, nothing. Southern Great Jungle is great for dwarves. This is like amazing if you go do a long campaign. You're gonna get red provinces. In the Black Flood, there's the generic mine here. There's nothing else here. Hagriff has the Dark Crag, big massive mine, iron, marble, and income. Very rich. Black Coast, nothing here. The Black Flood, hold on, I can wrong the button. Yeah, wrong button. Obsidian Peaks has the layers of Clark around, 100 exotic animals, lower rank +2, hero rank +2. Not great, not terrible. Tier 3. If you ever get here, you're gonna get it, you're gonna build it. Recruiting heroes and lords on a high rank is the way to go. Let's see, Obsidian Peaks, there was nothing else there. Iron Mountains, nothing here. Nagorod has nothing. Nothing special for dwarves. Doomglades, nothing. Spinosauric, the mountain chain in Lastria, nothing. Southern Jungles, Paholaxa, there's nothing here. Titan Peaks, the Morathi starting province, has the Catacombs of Quintex, Vaults of Quintex, Southern Quintex. Lots of money, growth, research, public order, faction-wide, if you have presence over the corruption, and local income. It's really huge for the money and public order, but it's really far on the other side, out of the way. This is one of the strongest names in the game, but it's not really relevant for a lot of factions because it's on the other side of the world. Okay, there's nothing here. This is one of the richest provinces of the game. A resource in every region plus the Sanguine Quintex. Very rich for the elves. Ishmus of Lastria. This is the Grand Pepes starting province, Hexoatl. It has the stellar pyramids of the southern sky. Again, what is this? 5th landmark now that grants Winds of Magic Power Reserve to all armies to dwarves. Lower rank +1, faction 1, research rate +12%. For a tier 5, this is absolute trash. Dog shit, garbage. Absolute shit. and it's cost over 20,000. There is another landmark here in Ziggurat Dawn, Beacon of Dawn, in a coastal settlement where you need ports, so half the slots are taken. Since they changed that the experience doesn't affect garrisons, this is trash tier garbage. And being in a port, just forget it exists. We built it just to see if recruit rank +1 for all units works faction wide. No, it only works in the province. Not even the Lizardmen or any faction would really build this one. Really, any other building here is better. The Witchwood, there's nothing here. Jungles of Green Mist, nothing. Northern Jungles of Pakaloxa, nothing. Huahuan Desert has a Chamber of Visions. Magic item drop chance +5% all characters, low recruit rank +1 faction wide, hero action success chance +3% all characters, ambush defense chance +5% all armies. Bonuses, some of the stats are good, but at the end, being at the end of the world, the stats should be doubled. Really should be doubled. This is also a region that has a resource. They can safely just double the stats on this one, and it would be like an average landmark. Being at the end of the world, it definitely should be better. Ice Frost Glacier, the Northern Province in Nagrod, nothing. Black Spine Mountains. This is the Cockroach Lands, nothing. Nobler Country at the end of the world, there's no landmarks. Kingdom of Beasts, nothing. Dragon Isles have a special port. Very rich, 3 tiers. Kind of surprising it has 3 tiers, unless you ask me. It's very expensive to build because the red climate for dwarves, but you get income, gems, public order growth, and more on each tier. It's a rich one, but very expensive to build. In the Plain of Bones, in the Fortress of Warrock, it's the Tower of the Blood Tooth. Get income, cheaper construction in the province, and apparently you get a vampiric corruption, and you're gonna be happy about it if you're a vampire or not. In the Plain of Bones, there is a very nice one for dwarves, the Graves of the Dragons on tier 1. 500 income, 6 golden idols, 6 gemstones, 1 old gold gem per turn, and the high elves do not like when you do, you know, pillage this or exploit this, whatever this word. Few dwarves can resist the lure of a dragon glittering's hoard, especially when the dragon is long dead. So basically looting the dragon graveyard. This is a pretty nice one, tier 1, and you as a Karaz-a-Karak and all the dwarves most likely gonna go here, especially in the longer campaign. Karaz-a-Karak definitely. In Nagashizar, there's a tier 5 landmark, Great Halls of Nagashizar, income generate 200, it's missing a 0. It's, they are working on it, probably by 2025. Immune to appearing traditional armies, leadership +7 when fighting against undead, double experience fighting against the dead, and corruption +50 local region. This landmark is utter trash garbage. I don't even know why the other factions can even build this in such a state. Tier 5 in a 2 region, this is a dog shit garbage. Don't even go there in a short campaigns. It's probably better for some of the dead factions, but for dwarves on tier 5, what the fuck is this shit? Don't they know the dwarves bully undead? What the fuck is this? Tier 5. Heck, this should be tier 1 landmark. Devil's Backbone. Lamia, there's nothing here, but it's very rich in resources. Southern Darklands, there's nothing here. There is so little here, they forgot to put a garrison building. You know, because, you know, you don't need a garrison building in a city. You know, dwarves, you know, they have it easy, so they don't need to build walls and extra garrison here. Southlands Jungle, there is the Golden Tower of the Gods. Pretty nice income for a tier 2. Just, you know, solid landmark when it matters. 450 income, 5 public order, 8% research rate, and income from all buildings to even 5% all into this province. Of course, your Lizardman, it's even better. Creative of the Waking Dead, nothing here. The Wolflands, nope, nothing. Northern Darklands, nothing. Look at the Darklands, guys. The Darklands, Southern Darklands, no resource, no landmarks, no even walls. And the Northern Darklands, again, 3 mountain regions, no resource. Why the fuck would anybody even live in these mountains that are no resources? It's highly suspicious. This smells like half-assing to you guys, because it smells like half-assing to me. Imagine mountains. Usually these mountain holes are made by dwarves, and there is nothing there. There is nothing there. Even if they've fallen to other factions. Reminds me of Ekrund, right, in the Western Badlands. Repix, Mount Gumbat. There is the Bryston Mine. This is one of the best, if not the best, landmark for Karaz-a-Karak and dwarves in general, since easy accessible for both Karaz-a-Karak, Karakad, heck, even Belagar. You get massive income on a tier 3, 1500, usually enough to push in the second army, so you can actually stabilize the early game. You get good trade, buff to trade, and until it gets cheaper, we have strong garrison to Ironbreakers. This is probably the best dwarf landmark in the game, since it makes things go smoother. You get this early secured early on a tier 3. It does take a little bit longer to get now. It's just too good. It's just crazy good. The problem is on a tier 3 you can't really get both. On a tier 3 you need growth. So you kinda have to drop something. You might stop the growth and they can take tier 4 way longer, but you know, with growth issues, you get this, you basically secure early game, you get military. You get a wall on tier 3, right? But then you lose growth. And with the max bounce to growth, it will still take a while to get to the higher tier. The real money in this place happens on tier 3 and then again on tier 4. And even on tier 5 you get even more money because of the trade building. This is probably the best landmark for dwarves, the Bryston Mine. Southlands Wold Edge Mountains, Karak Zorn, at the bottom of the world, bottom of the Wold Edge Mountains, has the Hall of the Ancestors, which is tier 1. Low recruit rank +1 faction wide, upkeep -10% for Longbeards on units, all armies, 33% cheaper recruitment for the Longbeards, recruit rank +2 for Longbeards units, all provinces, local recruitment capacity +2, and provides a garrison of 2 Longbeards great weapons. This is amazing landmark to start the campaign with. Stuff like this should be in the famous cities. Karak Zone is one of the famous cities of the dwarves. But honestly, I think the Karak Zone should have a unique settlement as well. This place should be much harder to take and not easily taken by clan Moors or the like. The city itself should be similar to that of Karak 8 Peaks and Karaz-a-Karak, with a unique garrison and more money. But since you don't start here, by the time you get this, the Longbeards stop to be relevant, so not really much out of it. We built it at a time when we had 3 tier 3 armies and Longbeards, and I just kept it. Nothing here. This is a pretty good spot, I feel like, for a dwarf faction, a new dwarf faction. If they add a dwarf faction to the game, I hope it is gonna be here. Southern Mountains, nothing here, no landmarks. Gormari Mountains, nothing. Northern Village Mountains, no landmarks. Charn Valley, nothing. Eastern Badlands, the Karak 8 Peaks province. For Karaz-a-Karak we get the Grand Underwind Junction. Campaign moon range +10% for own army starting their turn in this region. Growth +5 all provinces. Income from trade +10% faction wide. Casualty +15%. Upkeep -5% for armed units all armies. That's nice. Recruit rank +3 for arm breaks units, only here. Income from all buildings +10% all regions in this province, and you get garrison of 2 arm breakers. These are the tier 3 landmarks, the really good ones. Half of this text, is relevant, but I feel like this is like a good base for tier 3 landmarks. Even if you're not going to recruit this province, you get growth faction-wide, you get trade faction-wide, you get cheaper iron breakers, which is economy, it's your main infantry unit, and this province does buff income from all buildings, and you have 2 arm breakers garrison. The only thing that doesn't really matter here is the recruit rank +3 for iron breakers, casualty replenishment +20%, and campaign wound range +20% for own army starting their turn in this region. This is bizarre that this place gives casualty replenishment +15% when you have the patches who give another 10%. And these days you pretty much have to build this one as well. It's bizarre, it gives another 15%, but this is one of the places where the dwarves will replenish the fastest. Usually when it's built up and surrounded, there is really nothing happening here. Dwarves just, chilling, minding their own business, watching Twitch and throwing the chat. Dead Pass, the Black Karak province, very rich in resources. Honestly, it's more richer than the repicks if you count the trade with Orotide, iron, card obsidian, gold, timber, and it has also massive income. You can see 8700. The resources when you trade in a regular campaign will be more than what the repicks is making you. Iron Rock has a landmark, the Deep Magma Caverns. It is 400 income, 100 card obsidian chests, option for trade, and 2 miners with blasting charges for the garrison. We have the Pig Pass, the Karak province. That is the home of the Slayer cult. Nothing special in tier 2. A little bit more relevant in tier 4 because it enables Giant Slayers. You get just regular Slayers on tier 2. I guess you can get Slayers earlier. You might go just, specialize with the Slayers. Usually, how we go, we just recruit a couple of Slayers and then we remove it for something more relevant, like Farm or Hostler for public order growth. On tier 4, you enable Giant Slayers, recruit a rank for the Slayers, Untamed +8, but what really matters is the tier 5. Recruit rank +2 for the Slayer units, all provinces, Untamed +10, Untamed in adjacent province +3, recruit rank +2 for infantry units, all infantry units in this place. So the Slayers pretty much get +4 ranks here. Upkeep -5% for the Slayer units, all armies. If you are using Slayers, is pretty good. Iron also lowers up for the Slayers. Recruitment cost -35% for the Slayer units in here, and a massive garrison of Slayers. I would like to see this one being tier 3 and this one being tier 4, but I feel like this comes way too late, and this one should be special. It is not special on tier 4. On tier 4, I have Monument Grim and Beetle Slayers. Anyways, look at this. This is tier 4. Recruit rank +2 for Slayer units, Untamed +8, Giant Slayers. This is a regular, this is a landmark. Landmark, regular. Landmark, regular. What's the difference here? Make this one tier 3 and this one tier 4, and then you have a proper landmark. Okay. What's next? Blight Water. No landmarks here. Shifting Sands has the City of Bronze. Give income, cheap and fast recruitment. Nothing special, it's tier 2 though, just economy building. Heart of the Jungle, nothing. Zubar has a brewery, Bugman's Brewery, a massive amount of beer, public order. Ranger recruit ranks, upkeep for the Rangers. Rangers being the best cross unit you can get. Bugman Rangers gonna pile up the upkeep costs. Cheap recruitment for the Rangers here. You could recruit them though in the from the capital. Have the Drinking Hall and the Ranger Barracks. Later in the world you have like 10-20 of these. So you have Global 2, Global 1. Only recruitment Zubar. You still get them high rank. Construction cost minus 25% for range barracks and hostel buildings, and construction time minus 1 for range barracks and hostel building. These two, and the upkeep production ranges is pretty damn good. This is convenience and upkeep and money. You have too much dwarf beer anyways, you won't be able to trade everything, so this 100 dwarf beer here is very relevant, but 10 public order will stabilize the province. You do get also the garrison Bagman Rangers, so this place is safe. It's really hard to take when you have this garrison. You have dwarf beer pretty much. Most places will have the drinking hall or the feast hall, so you get a lot of dwarf beer, which you will not be able to trade all of it. And we're already at the Silver Road. It can't be right. We went through all of it, huh? Okay, that's it. Did we miss anything? I think we've shown everything, right guys? That's it, all the Dwarven landmarks. We control all of the world. Let's go check the stats. Let's go check the stats, what's been going on in this campaign. This campaign, you know, has been a long one, and we've done a good job here. Well, let's just check some records. Thorgrim has won 110 battles. Ebres. Shield Wizard. 59 battles. Have Merconos next. 66 battles. Damn, Merconos has been busy. He's been busy, and he thought he would just AFK down there, the land down under. We have Diegbro with his fire army. 35 battles. Who's next? Strakron with his guns. 49 battles. Solid, solid. Who do we have next? Smith's Hammer. Smith's Hammer has been busy, I think. 46 battles. Yeah, solid. We have a lady with a beard with 20 bells. Blue with 39 bells. That's how many victories. Grombrindal, our starting lord, 106 bells. So Thorgrim ended up fighting quite a bit. We had a Dortrum, Thorn in the Empire side, 29 bells. And that is Roman, our only dwarf lord, 80 bells. Roman been busy, cracking skulls. And we have a build rating with not that many bells, 18. Okay, let's go check some statistics. So we've been playing for 211 turns. Current settlements hold 353. That's how many there is in the game. What do we have here? Settlements captured 372. Settlements lost 29. Pirate coast established 0. No pirates. 109 provinces. 653 commandments issued. Building constructed 2,902 buildings. Holy shit. Technology 73. 135 missions completed. 255 total resources held. Unique resources held 16. In diplomacy, we encountered 132 factions, and we have destroyed 100 factions. We haven't destroyed that many. Make it sound like a bad guy. Vassals established 0. Current war 0. Yeah. World is at peace. World peace achieved by destroying all your enemies. 22 wars was the most at the same time. 135 wars declaration. We had current allies 2, and it seems bugged. Most allies 3. Current agreement, some of the stats is bugged. 0 had 11 at one point. Income, total income this campaign, 24.6 million. Holy shit. 24.6 million. Current income is 373,000. Highest income was 381,000. We made 18.5 million from taxes, 3.1 million from trade, 54,000 from looting and sacking. The missing amount here is battle loot. There is a missing amount here. Battle loot, diplomacy, such thing like that. Income from raiding 0, nice. You know, like yeah, raiding, yeah. It's totally fits Total War games. I'm not sure what they're doing with this raiding for the last few years. Expenditure, 24.2 million was spent. Current highest on meta. On recruitment we spent nearly 1 million. On upkeep 1.5 million, 15 million, my bad. And on construction 7.3 million. Holy shit. We have established 202 armies. This is totally inflated because we were recruiting and disbanding the Grangi Lords for construction cost reductions. We have current army 13. We had at most 18 armies, which was crazy expensive. We recruited 25 lords. We have killed 527 lords. We have lost 336 lords. This is, you know, replacing stuff, disbanding, so it's inflated. We recruited 672 units. We have destroyed close to 10,000 units, 9,500 units. That's a lot. We lost 572 units. In this campaign alone, we have fought 778 battles. Battles fought personally 285. Still, 1/3 of the battles were resolved manually. Battles auto-resolved close to 500. There were 271 land battles, 3 ambush battles, 204 siege battles, minus-1 battles 291, subterranean battles 7. Out of 778 battles, we have 730 victories, 270 land battle victories, 2 ambush battle victories, 194 siege battle victories, minor settlement battle victories 255, subterranean intercept victories 7, heroic victories 30. Losses, we had 48 total defeats, usually flipping minor settlements, 1 land battle defeats, 1 ambush battle defeats, 10 siege battle defeats, 36 minor settlement battle defeats, usually just mostly flipping settlements. If you would take over the flipping settlements, it's under 5 defeats. Subterranean battle 0, crushing defeats 0. Aftermaths, we have occupied 363 settlements, looting occupied 1, raised 4, sacked 5. We have released 41,000 captives, that's the money. Battle loot, releasing captives, diplomacy. Makes you wonder why they have all these stats if it's missing 3 types of income here. We executed 70,000 people. We haven't executed anybody, we just released them and they're, you know, in prisons and jails. Captives taken on 1,433. This is the wars for replenishment. We recruited 64 heroes, lost 35. I guess disbands, some cycling. 371 total hero actions, successful were 294, failed 77, and 36 heroes been assassinated. Okay, let's conclude this campaign, boys. The whole world is ours, all blue. It's done. It's done. The map is a little bit bugged. I'll leave you here where I conclude this campaign ended, and the next Total War Warhammer 2 campaign will be in second half of May. We'll be playing some more stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.